What's up guys, it's ALLDAYANTHONY, and I wanted to make a quick video because a couple of nights ago I had a pretty interesting night compared to most, and I just kind of wanted to share what happened. And basically, long story short, my Civic almost got stolen, and if it wouldn't have gotten stolen, then I would have had a lot more damage to the car, or I would have had something going on. But basically that's the short story, but I do kind of want to explain what happened and talk about it a little bit. So this all happened in my driveway, and as you can see, there's actually nothing out of the usual on the car, no broken windows or anything like that. And that's what was so crazy for me living here in Idaho. I know that there's certain areas of the country that are a lot different when it comes to theft, but here in Boise, this is something that we don't see a whole lot, at least not until recently. So anyways, let's go ahead and open up the car. I'll show you kind of what's going on and explain what happened. So getting into the car, first thing you see is this right here. This is my climate control AC unit that is now broken in half. The vents are now completely smashed in. Definitely some damage. Basically, kind of what happened, it was about 12 o'clock at night or so. I hear my doorbell ring, and this is one of those nights where I actually went to bed early. Normally I'm awake till 12, or sometimes even way past that, but I heard the doorbell ring. Me and my girlfriend look at each other like, who the hell's ringing our doorbell at 12 o'clock in the morning? But I look outside the window to see that there was a police patrol car. I go out through my garage and I see some flashlights kind of outside the garage area, and I open it up and I find a cop standing next to my car, and he was standing over on the other side over there, and he has a flashlight and basically says, "Hey, is this your car?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "So somebody just reported a burglary on your car, and I want you to kind of come check this out." And initially, just like you guys are seeing right now, this is what I saw. I saw my car, I saw a cop standing next to it, and I walk around and I'm like, I don't see anything out of the usual. Everything looks, all there. There's no broken glass or anything. And he then points the flashlight inside the car and says, "Was your dash ripped in half like that?" And when I first saw it, there was actually a bunch of wires. Half those grates that were in the AC unit were sticking out, and of course, like, the car was a complete mess. Everything was kind of just ripped up, and there's trash and everything out from my door panels, and I don't know, it was all over the place. Basically, it was like somebody had just destroyed a clean room and pulled out all the laundry. I looked and I said, "No, that's definitely not how it was." And it was just crazy because, at that moment I get this huge adrenaline rush of just like, holy shit, somebody just broke into my car. I felt like very vulnerable, I guess you can say, or taken advantage of, and I hate that feeling. It angers me so much. So there was a neighbor that had called in the burglary as this was happening. The neighbor saw everything, and he immediately called it in, and I think that basically stopped the thieves right there in their tracks. And so part of me was just wondering how the hell they got into my car, because my car was locked. Then starting to think about it more and more, I realized it's a Honda. These things are obviously the easiest things to steal, and there's got to be a way. So after about, 20 minutes of gathering my information and talking to the cop, he basically asked if he could, have a minute. So he walked away, came back, and he said that they may have found some suspects, and I was like really surprised, and he said that they caught them breaking into another car or something like that. And so from that point he left. I went back inside, grabbed all my valuables, anything out of the car. But what was crazy to find is that when I was actually in the car looking around for what else they did, I had a couple bucks sitting inside my glove box right here that they didn't take. They didn't take anything out of there. It was kind of stupid, because I'm just trying to gather why they why they would only go after this AC unit. And then I started to think about it more and more, and people, I guess, that are Honda people, they liked the climate control on the 99 to 2000 Civic, and I thought maybe that's what they were going after, because the cop said, you know, why would somebody go after this $100 stereo? You could go down to Walmart and buy that same stereo. It's not worth the crime. And same thing with this climate control piece, though. Realistically, it's not worth a whole lot. You know, you can buy it off eBay for 80 bucks or something like that. And at the same time, I don't think they had enough time. I think if they had more time, they would have been able to get away with more. But the cop ended up coming back and asking to gather fingerprints because I think they found the guys. And that was, oh, it's snowing. But they think they found the guys, and that's when they said that they're sure it's them, and that they had there was 2 people that they had weapons on them. They had a gun, they had a taser, they had drugs on them, and they asked me if, you know, if anything else was taken or anything at all, and, you know, fortunately nothing else was taken or broken or damaged that I could see. And I was initially looking down to see if they had messed with the ECU or if they had gone after anything else, but that was it. I started the car, everything still ran, but at this point it's like 1:30, almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just tired and really pissed off, as you can imagine, that this is all going down. Just not my idea of a fun Thursday night. The next day, I actually, this is the kicker right here, guys. This is what's so crazy, is that the next day I get onto our Ada County Sheriff's website, and this is a website where they post all the arrests for the, you know, Ada County area here in Boise. And so Boise is still a pretty small town in comparison to most, and so chances are, if you don't know somebody else that you know knows that person. And it was funny to get on there and see the arrest report, and the first person I see, I recognize this guy's name, and I immediately punch it into Facebook, and come to find out, if you can believe this crap, this dude, he's a Honda guy, and he buys and sells Hondas, shells, he buys parts all the time, and he flips them and sells them on Facebook and Let Go and Craigslist. And I've actually talked to this guy before. Before I got the wheels that are on the car currently, I actually hit him up about a set of wheels about whatever it was, you know, 7 months ago. And I can't believe that this dude, because he doesn't know where I live or anything like that, it must have been just a luck of the draw that he came through my neighborhood and found my car. But the other guy that I saw, these guys definitely got the hammer laid down on them. I mean, the first guy got 2 counts of felony burglary. The second guy got 2 counts of felony burglary, violation of probation, holding a weapon, a felony of holding a weapon. He had a taser on him, which I think was a misdemeanor. He had possession of stolen goods. He had disruption to, you know, private property, all sorts of crazy stuff. And so, guys, this is what just bothers me so much, is that this piece right here, you're going to a junkyard, it's 20 bucks. It's like, is it really worth getting a felony over $20 or $100 if you're wanting the stereo? No, I mean, I imagine that they were going after the car. That would be my insight, because all these other Hondas have been getting stolen and getting parted out and whatnot. But yesterday, my neighbor came over to my house, and he's the one that actually called it in and said that he works at a prison and was leaving for work, and he saw these guys go back outside. He saw these guys basically. One of them was sitting in the driver's seat, and he had the seat kicked back, and he was laying back, kind of like tucked away, trying to hide himself from the headlights over here. And then the other guy was standing right here next to the car, reaching into the glove box here. And right when my neighbor drove by, he pulled away, closed this door like casually, and then walked over here towards the side of my house in the dark. So right when they saw that, I'm pretty sure the other dude out of the driver's seat scattered, and he left, and then they ran around the corner down this little sideway here where they had a car parked out front, and they basically drove off. But the crazy part is this is all going down at 12 o'clock at night. I mean, that's like not even late. My whole entire area back here is lit up. There's people coming in and out of this alleyway all night long, and the only thing I could think of is that they were really going to boost the car, or they were going to steal the car, because I don't understand why they would go for an AC unit, which they know is bolted in, and there's no way that they're going to get that out. Maybe some of you guys watching have a better idea of what they could have been going for. I'm not sure. That's just kind of what I gathered from that. But come to find out, the next day as well, the cops contacted me and told me that they had found a Honda key on one of them, and you know, no crap, both of them are Honda guys, but I believe the key was shaved, so I think they were able to get in with a shaved key somehow, and I think they could have definitely started it up and probably driven off, which is just crappy. So from here on, what I'm going to do is I have a really, I don't know, difficult time, because now I have to get an alarm for the car, which kind of sucks, because you know, it's a couple $100 that, you know, the car wasn't worth a whole lot. You guys know I only spent $1,500 on this car. I think an alarm is probably going to be the necessary thing, and get something nice and get something worthwhile, because like I said, this car has been so good to me, and it pisses me off that somebody tried to steal it, or somebody tried to part it out, or pull parts off it that are worth, you know, pennies on the dollar. So just wanted to make this quick video. You guys can let me know your thoughts. If you guys have any cool ideas. Some people have mentioned doing a fuel pump cutoff switch, which I think is a good idea, and some other things. And so just wanted to give a quick story, just kind of what's going on. So I will catch you guys in the next video. It's ALLDAYANTHONY. Peace.